Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL GW29 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand. And as you can see on your screens, it is going to be a lot quieter in terms of volume press conference live stream because it is blank game week 29. We only have 8 fixtures. We heard from 3 managers yesterday. We've got 5 to hear from today. West Ham's presser came this morning. So we're hoping to hear from Spurs pretty much straight away, followed by Fulham, Luton and Aston Villa. But there's lots to get into. I'm in particular waiting for a Richarlison update from Postecoglou because he's in my team and I'm not free hitting this week. And then we saw Ollie Watkins limp off in the Europa Conference League last night. The prognosis that we've got already is not looking too bad. Obviously, if he was ruled out, then it would be advantage free hitters. So I am a little bit concerned, but hopefully we'll get an update from Unai Emery a little bit later. I'm not exactly sure when that press conference is. I managed to get some press conference times from my source at the Premier League saying that there was a Villa presser at 1:30. I then saw Fantasy Football Scout tweet that the Villa presser was at 2:30. I've also seen a journalist say that there isn't a Villa press conference and all comments were made last night, which can sometimes happen after European games, particularly away from home. But Villa were at home and I haven't actually seen, I've been doing these press conferences all season. I've never seen Emery miss one. So I'm hopeful that we are going to get something. I feel like Villa do quite a lot of less open press conferences, or maybe they're just not as popular as, maybe some of the others, but we tend to get like an article through on the website on Aston Villa as well. So I'm going to keep an eye out and just see what happens. So we'll see exactly what we get, but that is the plan for the next, let's say 90 minutes and we'll see. Simon is in a modding and said word from the Villa fans is that they expect a presser today. I would be very surprised if there wasn't a Villa presser today, because that's what tends to happen. If you are in, come and say hello in the chat and make sure that you've liked the stream and subscribed to the channel. I've just realised that I've not even put the welcome message on, have I? So I need to do that. Ooh, there we go. So I'll pop that in the chat as well. I know I said I was setting up and then I've never got back to do it again. So yeah, make sure that you're liking the stream. I'm here every Friday at 1 o'clock with the pressers. And we've got just over 24 hours until the deadline because it is a later deadline this week. The deadline is at 1:30 on Saturday, and we've got those 4 fixtures: Burnley, Brentford, Luton, Forest, Fulham, Spurs and West Ham, Villa. We've also got, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, put the poll live. I've asked if you're free hitting or not this week. It's about 50-50 at the moment, which is quite interesting. Glad to see that I'm not the only one that's trying to muddle through. I do still have my free hit. The fact that I've got 9, I've got 3 players flagged, I've got 2 free transfers as well. Now the move that I'm definitely going to make is Foden to Bowen. That's the transfer I'm going to make this week, and that would take me to 10 if everyone played. And I'm hoping to roll the next transfer because I don't really want to transfer out Haaland or Saka and bring them back in. If Richarlison's ruled out, I'll probably do Richarlison to Maddison. I could also be tempted to replace Branthwaite with Porro. So we'll see. I don't know whether I'm going to make transfers on this stream now, with it being another 24 hours to the deadline and lots of kind of conversations going on elsewhere. I've just realised I haven't set my vice captaincy either, so best do that now. I think the captaincy conversation with the question marks over Watkins is going to be a bigger one. It's been a busy morning as well because we've had the Champions League draw and the Europa League draw, and I think the Europa Conference League draw is happening now. And here we go. We've got the video from Postecoglou on Richarlison.
Look ahead to Fulham, and if I could start with the team news, please. What's the latest on Mickey van der Ven?
So Mickey's the only one.
Starting off with Van der Ven. Hopefully we get Richarlison as well.
So he'll miss tomorrow, but
this is still Van der Ven.
Pretty confident. Things go well, he won't miss too much more. And the only other one is Richie. Richie trained, so
he's trained.
Also okay, should be available for tomorrow as well.
That is good. Richarlison has trained and should be available. That is good news for my team, definitely. I think I've got to keep him now, haven't I? Richarlison's trained and should be available. Shall I? I mean, even if he gets me 1 point, I'll take that. I guess it's that decision of I'm not going to replace him because there's always that potential that he can get me something. I guess the ceiling's not that high. Sorry, I'm just updating the Vanna with that update. Why can't I talk today? Richarlison has trained and should be available. So we'll put that in. I had a really nice thumbnail for today with Richarlison in, and then I've replaced it with the Watkins update. I probably ought to tweet this as well. Too many things going on at once here today. Let's give that a quick retweet. Richarlison has trained and should be available. There we go. That is good news for me. That's one less flag, which is always good news. Hopefully this graphic will just update itself in a moment. I feel like there should be a quicker way of updating this ticker. I think what I need to do is get some help behind the scenes. That's easier said than done, though. I've just realised that I haven't even said hello to everyone either yet. So that'll be my next task. That's really good news. I'm really pleased. Is anyone else a Richarlison owner? I guess if there's only half of you on free hit, then there's going to be a fair amount of people that don't really care. Harry's saying, will he start? I don't know. The trouble is, Brennan Johnson had a great game last time out, didn't he? Let's have a look at... is Ben Dinner his predicted lineups up yet? There we go. There's going to be a shorter article this week with a number of games. Let's scroll down to Spurs. Oh, this Werner, isn't it? I'd like to think Richarlison gets in this team. I mean, it's an international break after this, so I guess Postecoglou's not kind of looking forward to what's coming up in the schedule and having to protect him. Did Maddison come straight back in? I know Sonny didn't, did he? From injury, Sonny came in on as a sub and then started the next game, but I think that was more like fatigue related. Well, who was I looking for? Maddison. Yeah, Maddison came straight back in. Porro came straight back in last week, didn't he? I'm just trying to think who of the Spurs regulars have had a bit of an injury this season, and then Kulu's not missed. Oh, he has missed a couple. I don't know if that was more of a selection thing, though. Yeah, Doggy came back in. Porro came back in. I know it's a little bit different. Did Romero miss a few injured? He came straight back in. There's promise. I hope. We'll see. Knee. I don't know. I'm hopeful. I mean, even if he doesn't, it's another point, isn't it? So there we go with that. I got completely sidetracked with that I realised that I haven't even said hello to everyone in the chat yet. There's a lot of other press conferences going on as well for all the Premier League games. And I know that for those of you on free hit, it doesn't directly correlate. But for those without free hit that aren't free hitting this week, it is quite important because it's also giving us that information on which players maybe we can get away with keeping or selling and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm going to be doing Foden to Bowen. I could do Branthwaite to Porro. I think. I probably ought to just check that I can afford it. I don't know if I can. I can't afford it, can I? Maybe that's the decision then. I mean, I could do Bowen to... I could get Maddison instead of Bowen, I guess. I could get Romero. I don't know if I want him long term, though. I don't think that's worth it. So I think I'm probably going to do Foden to Bowen, roll the second free transfer, and then hopefully I can kind of move some of this dead weight out of my squad and really attack, because it's having a route for Salah. That's the difficulty. I don't even know how I'm going to get Salah back in, but we'll worry about that after the international break. Right, I'm finally going to come and say some hellos in the live chat. Simon was in early and he said, good afternoon. Who else was here early? I don't know if anyone... Who else was? Oh, it was Simon that was saying it was glorious sunshine in the UK at last. Spring has sprung. Gameweek29 has just begun. Wonderful poetry there, mate. VJ is in and modding as well. There's quite a few members in as well. We've got FPL Harry in. We've got LSC Marlu. We've got Scott West in as well. Gazman with an early question. Louise Kudos and Morgan Gibbs-White or Elanga? I feel like I prefer the what you're going to get with Morgan Gibbs-White. Scott is in from Kentucky. Wei Ying is in from Singapore. Peter is in. Light Rays, Carl, Mike, Clive, Zahib, George, Shepherd, Bonkers, Scary, Dafarsha, Pulkit, Tom, Morris, Neil, Rasmus, True Blue. There's loads of you in. Thank you so much for joining me today. There's actually 350 of you in at the moment. We're not quite at 100 likes, so make sure that you have liked the stream and subscribed to the channel. I'm conscious that I do sound like a broken record. I'm just going to pop over to the tweet deck because it looks like Villa are going to be playing Lille in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Conference League, sorry. That draw's just come through. Or you can see all the others on screen filtering through if you've got any particular allegiances. Just making sure I've got everything bookmarked. That's the other big thing I need to do is go through all the injury news that we've got so far, of which is quite a lot. We should get some more comments, by the way, from Postecoglou on Richarlison, because we get this video and then 10 minutes later it's the Villa press, the Spurs presser. So there's lots of different bits and bobs to manage. Jamie's in as well. Good to see you, Jamie. I'm just making sure I've not missed anything while I've been chatting. This is going to make post-international break quite difficult because we've got a weekend, a midweek, a weekend, and then between 32 and 33 and 33 and 34, it's the first and second legs of these quarterfinals across all the European competitions, which are going to be difficult to manage. Richie trained today. We'll see how he pulls up. If he's fine, he'll probably be available. That's good enough for me. Just making sure that Harry's done the same tweet as me. Always happens. Yeah, so let's have a look then. I will get through to questions, so if you have got questions, drop them. I'll go through them in order. But let's have a look at all the injury news that we've got so far. So Mbermo is very close to a return for Brentford after we've done the Spurs ones, haven't we? Could be involved in the squad this weekend. That's good to see him back. No fresh injury concerns for Brent. That says Brentford, but it should be Burnley, from Burnley. We know that Reguilon is back in training for Brentford. Queyect picked up an issue on Thursday. I don't know if I saw any quotes from David Moyes this morning. I don't know if that 10 a.m.'s right. Let me know if you have seen some presser info from West Ham. I'll tell you what, I can have a look on the website. I'm just going to double check that. These press conference times, you honestly have to take them with a pinch of salt. Oh, they've got an FPL article. Didn't realise that. Interesting. I can't see anything on there. I don't even know what the handle is. Just West Ham. So the West Ham press conference was meant to be at 10 a.m. but I haven't seen any comments from it. So when it's actually happening, I don't know. We've had the Spurs presser. David Moyes tends to be at 1:30 or 2 o'clock if he is. So something to keep an eye out for. And then this was the post-match from Unai Emery. He said, we don't know exactly what the issue is. Maybe for Sunday, he could be available. He could be available, but it is only a cut. We'll wait and see tomorrow and Saturday. We are speaking before each match. And then to Villa TV, he said, of course he's asking us to change him, but it was because he has a cut. Hopefully he'll be available. This was... So that account, I don't know if that's one that I'm just making sure that I've got all... Yeah, he is on my list. Making sure that all these updates... Just making sure that no one else has said whether there's a presser or not, and that I've got them all on my lists. There we go. Yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. Just check the tweet deck that nothing else has come through. This is interesting from Charlie Eccleshare, who's the Spurs correspondent for The Athletic. Spurs should have Richarlison, Werner and Bentancur as bench options tomorrow. So he obviously doesn't feel very confident of a... So The Athletic are running a story that he's expected to be on the bench. Doesn't actually say... They've not actually specifically said. I feel like that was a little bit of clickbait. But yeah, I think that's pretty conclusive then. That probably we can expect Richarlison on the bench. But I mean, if Richarlison's going to get me at least 1 point... I don't know. Do I keep him? Well, do I go Maddison in? I'd rather have Maddison long term. I don't know, I'm a bit torn now. When is the Spurs game? 5:30. It's unlikely we'll get leaks. Just no, and this is the other thing. We've got 2 games pretty soon after the deadline, 2 earlier games in terms of this FPL game week. So we could get a fair few leaks. I know it's not really the types of sides that we're normally that invested in. And if you're on free hit, you're probably not going to go with an injury player. He probably isn't going to start, but is it worth a transfer to go Maddison? Because the fixture's not that good, is it? Against West Ham. Oh, no, they don't. No, it's Fulham, isn't it? Sorry. Mike says you don't need to decide now. Have a brew and well, yeah. I'll see what tomorrow brings, but I think I want to just keep with Richarlison. Whether that's the right decision or not, I don't know. Let's go through some questions then. For about 10 minutes, we're waiting for... we should hear from Fulham and Luton at 1:30 at the very least. Peter said, trying super hard not to free hit. Areola, Doughty, Louise, Son, Captain and Watkins swapped De Bruyne for Son, so no free transfers left. Can go -8. I think you free hit, Peter. I honestly do. It's not enough. Needs 7 with flags. A dodge. If you got a concrete 7, then that would be okay. But ideally 8 or 9. I'm gonna have 10. 2 with question marks. So it could be 8. There is a lot of people asking about a Watkins update. What was said yesterday was that it was a you can't even see that bigger. Sorry, I've not even got the right thing on. He suffered a cut. He could be available for Sunday. We will wait and see tomorrow and Saturday. That's all we've got at the moment. But I'm hopeful that we will hear from Unai Emery, whether that be in 10 minutes or half an hour or an hour. Watkins is a frustrating one, but I feel like free hit or not free hit, everyone's in the same boat. Those not on free hit are just going to keep him because he's an important number. And those on free hit are going to not want to go without him. Harry is lunchtime viewing whilst doing his graphics. Glad to get you through. Shepherd is on free hit. Few people with rain. It was raining here this morning. It's been quite nice though. It was raining first thing. It's been all right. Looks like it could rain again though. It's Red Nose Day, comic relief in the UK. I sent it was wear red at school for the kids today. The only thing I could find that was red was football kits, so off they've gone. They'll be a bit chilly though in their shorts. Tom, I was planning on picking a few differentials. Was also counting on Watkins. I may still keep him and let Bailey play if he isn't fit. Yeah, I mean, if you're on free hit, just make sure you've got a first good sub and you're ordering your bench. Akshat is in and modding. Good to see you, Akshat, as well. Big Bad just says, chill out, Holly. You seem stressed. Do I? I don't think I feel stressed. I'm just relaxing into the international break, I think, at this point. Morris says, can you do a free hit team? Yeah, I can. First of all, let me just give this a refresh to check it hasn't changed. This is the Fantasy Football Hub AI free hit team. The injury to Watkins has seen him replaced with Witter. And it's gone double Brentford attack and double Burnley defence, interestingly. Don't think it takes into account matchups at the moment. If I was on free hit, who would I go for? Let's have a go. I'd go Tony Watkins. Would I go Morris? Potentially. It would be Bowen, Son, Maddison. I'd have Porro at the back. Goalkeeper, I'd probably go Kaminski. I think he's top for saves this season. There he is. I don't know who else I'd go for, you know. I think a lot of people have been like fully focused on free hit, but I've not really entertained it because I haven't got it. I think I'd be tempted to go with Barkley over Morris. Who am I missing in midfield? Probably go Douglas Luiz. Yeah, it's that Bailey Louise, isn't it? Maybe I'd go like this now, and then maybe have Morris first sub, something like that. I've actually got a goalkeeper who to start dilemma this week because I've got both Kaminski and Flecken. But I think I'm going to start Kaminski. A few people in the chat have said, what about starting Flecken? But Forest, I think they've failed to score in 3 of their last 4 games, something like that. So I think that kind of helped to form that decision. Akshat, 9 months as a member. Thank you for your constant support for the channel and turning up and modding every week. I have 7 players, can get up to 9 with 2 free transfers. How many hits should I take? I think 9 is fine. I'd be comfortable with 9. I think that's fine. And that's what I'd say, I think. Are we up to 100 likes yet? Yeah, we're at 111. There's almost 500 of you. It obviously helps to support the channel if you like and subscribe and get involved in the conversation in the chat. So, yeah, make sure you do. Interesting, right? We're coming up to 1:30. So we are expecting some more press conferences. Fulham and Luton for sure. Still got to keep an eye out for West Ham and Villa, which, you know, could happen at any point in the next, 90 minutes. If you have asked a question, don't worry. I am going to get back to your questions. But while there is, proper news coming in, there are some other presses going on as well. Non-Premier League ones for the FA Cup. I can see that Pep's presser is going on. So I will, provide some input on those because, well, why not really? I was just having a quick check that I've not missed anything. I'd be really surprised if there was no Villa presser today. I don't think I have missed anything. Right, so we'll keep the tweet deck on now then. While we're waiting for the news to come in, I will answer some more questions. Pulkit had 3 players. Yeah, I think most people, there was no choice. It had to be free hit. A lot of people in the chat said keep Richarlison because he's a differential. And that's right, no free hitters are going with him. Bonkers LFC, I've got Bowen and Son. Are they your only players? Great picks for this week, though, by the way. Hoyland's back for United. I know these teams don't play this week, but it's all still relevant. George, if Watkins is okay, I could have 10 players for a -8. Yeah, that sounds okay. I don't really like taking a lot of hits. I think if you're taking hits to get more numbers for game week 29, there need to be players that you still want to own for game week 30. With Guire and Wan-Bissaka back for United as well. Toby says, I'm second in my mini league. First place used free hit weeks ago. Winner. Should I match their players or go different? I think being on free hit this week is massive, especially against the rival that isn't. I'd just go with your gut of the best 11. I don't think you can go too far wrong. But if your mini league is your sole focus and, there's a lot at stake, then you could, go safe with that. The free hit's like one of like the most exciting bits of FPL. So it would feel like a shame to make some selections that aren't truly yours. Maybe that's just me. Jason said, would you captain Son or Tony? Gotta be Son. He's got the form. He's got the fixture. LSC Marlou says, if Watkins is out and you want free hit, who would you replace him with? Yeah, I think I'd probably just keep him and make sure I've got a good first sub. But if we have a look at predicted points for forwards this week, this is courtesy of the points prediction tool on Fantasy Football Hub, and you can have a play with this yourself and get the best AI team and all that with a 7-day free trial using the link in the chat or in the description to this video. So it's now Tony, Fofana and Wissa, the top 3 forwards. Morris below Watkins, who's been bumped down to 68 minutes. Muniz, Chris Wood, Werner, Ogbene and Owoni. I do know how to say it now. Yeah, so that's the forwards if you were interested. Keep the tweet deck open because I know it runs quick this time of day, even though there's a lot of FA Cup pressers. It's good to just be across it. Keep your questions coming. I am answering all of them. I'm kind of going in chronological order at the moment. There's a picture. So Fulham notes coming. I've definitely lost my place in the chat now. Simon said, Spurs against Fulham. Whoever plays down the left is coming up against Castagna. Pace is the way. That is interesting. Watkins has not been ruled out. Benjamin says, stop giving us a heart attack. I've not given you a heart attack. This is just the news. Simon's with a 7 months membership. It's all coming up today. What happened 7 months ago? Was it like the very start of the season? Must be. Let's have a... Oh, I don't want volume on that. Looks like Spurs are in the gym today. We know Richarlison's trained, so I don't really know. what I'm expecting to get out of this video, to be fair. It's just nice to see that the players that you own are there. Well, they've been out as well. Don't think I have seen Richarlison yet. Let me know if you do see Richarlison on this. I am trying to look through, unless he's got like a hat on. He don't really know if he's the hat type. It's how much training has he been involved in, I guess, is the question. Has anyone seen him? Has he got like bleached blonde hair at the moment? I guess we've not seen him for a few weeks. He might have had his hair done. Haven't seen him in there though. Didn't see Richarlison in there at all. Causing myself concern here. Oh, Simon, 11th of August 2023. I wonder what happened on that day. Big Badger says, on free hit, will you lose money if you have it in a player all season? No. Your team reverts back to what it looked like at the game week 28 deadline. So any value will return. De Bruyne ruled out, which we knew. Grealish back with the group. True Blue Clay says, I'm thinking of bringing in a Awoniyi if Watkins is out. What do you think? If that's on free hit, then that's okay. Isle of Kebab. Solanke to Tony and Saliba to Reguilon/Robinson for a full playing lineup. 2 frees. Depends how well your team's set up for what's coming. If you're going to want Salah back soon, having an extra transfer after the break would be useful. Even when you've got 2 frees, I still try and view that transfers cost me 4 points. V rolling, because it'll end up costing you down the line potentially. So what you need to think is, do you want Reguilon long term? Do you want Tony long term? If you're just buying them for 1 week and you're going to be selling them after the break, then I wouldn't say it's worth it. And I don't think either of them are really long-term targets. You've got to remember all the teams that miss this week will double soon. Bournemouth could double quite soon. And Saliba, surely you're going to want Saliba back. The thing is with Spurs, they've still got a game in hand, yeah? So buying a Spurs play if you're not free hitting is good. Watkins is not out for sure. I'm hopeful that he'll be involved / starting. Defarsha, you don't fancy Louise, Bailey or Madison? Yeah, I like them all this week. If I wasn't on free hit then. T-back. I've only got 3 players, but I have my chips, but I don't know if I should use it or risk it. Just get it played. If you've got less than 7 players for this week and you've got the free hit, this is what it's there for. Yeah, you'll see some content creators like myself that have been planning so they don't need to use the free hit this week. But for the vast majority of people, it's absolutely the way to go. Jeffrey says, do you think Menez will start as bro your loan clause might force Fulham? I've not seen that. We're getting a few updates through from Fulham now, I think. Everyone is available. All the players can be involved. So that includes Jimenez back. I got too excited by the Spurs video. I didn't miss some of them. True Blue, I brought in Madison, Cooler and Son. Is that a risk? No. Razor, who to captain, Son or Tony? Gotta be Son. Someone asking about Paqueta. He had an injury in the first half. I was going to take him off at half time. He wanted to stay on, but we got the goal and I didn't want to risk him ahead of Sunday. I've got to make sure his injury wasn't getting any worse. That's that one. Not heard anything from Luton yet. We did have a bit of a look on their website last week, so I'm just going to look that up. Nothing on there at the moment. Music Maestro, not on free hit. I've taken a -4 to get 11, just hope Watkins starts. The vast majority of people will just own Watkins, so it shouldn't matter too much, especially if it's to get a 1 point cameo. That kind of affects everyone. Peter, use wildcard 28, 10 plays this week. Do you think it's worth doing Solanke to Tony? I don't think so, no. Edison could be back after the break for City. Someone says Tony's playing on his birthday. That's got to be good. Everyone scores on their birthday. Please only ask your questions once, guys. I do try and answer them all, but it does make life more difficult. Jonathan says, Wissa a better pick than Tony. Yeah, he's got the form. Few little updates from Villa. Harry, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm in the same boat of how long do I keep streaming in the hope that there's a Villa presser. The Watkins news, as things stand, is that he got a cut. There's something about seeing how he responds tomorrow and Saturday. He could be available for Sunday, but it is only a cut. We will wait and see tomorrow and Saturday. That's all we know at the moment, but we're hopeful that we'll get a presser. Konate is a major doubt for Liverpool. Mon says, do you expect Son's position to be affected by Richarlison? No, I don't think so. Connor says double Brentford attack. Yeah, it could work. I mean, anything's worth a go. Daniel says for Fana or Morris up front. I think I'd be more Morris. Richarlison is available, but we don't know. It looks unlikely he'll start. Chantal, without a free hit, should I take a -8 to field 9 players? Looking to bring in Son, Porro and Bailey. I think Son and Porro are definitely players you'd want long term. So I'd definitely do that for a -4. The Bailey for a -8 is a little bit of a stretch. Also depends, you know, what who's coming out. A shout for Gibbs White could be okay. Right, I'm just going to go for a quick bathroom break, but I'll be back really soon, regretting having a fizzy drink at lunchtime. Sorry about that, but needs must. It's a bit bad, really. 45 minutes in, I did turn the mic off. I think the Lou's far enough away. I think the mic's pretty good at not picking up background noise as well. I think that's the first time I've had to do that, you know. Oh no, maybe when I did the 6-hour charity stream. But, you know, these things happen. Curtis Jones has a chance of returning in the international break. Trent and Jota only a week after that, apparently. I think there's a little bit of a lull in the news. True Blue. Thoughts on Awoniyi? I don't love the pick. It's just Forest form. That's my biggest issue. Because they've won one game this year. They didn't score against Brighton. They didn't score against Liverpool. Yes, they did get a couple against Villa and a couple against West Ham. But it says that, yeah, it's their last 2 games they've not scored in. Big Bad just says Bailey over Louise. Louise will have more defensive duties. He's got set pieces and pens is the issue. John says Harry Wilson is a differential. Not a lot of love for the Fulham lads. Yeah, that's true, to be fair. And Fulham have been playing okay. They've won 3 of their last 5. They've been scoring goals as well. They've scored 10 goals in the last 5 games. Kept 1 clean sheet. So, yeah, they could be worth a look. Harry Wilson's one of those players that hauls. And then it's the leak. 3 goals, 5 assists this season. Yeah, some really positive injury updates for Liverpool. Much needed, really, if they're to truly progress this season. Birdie is in. Good to see you. Definitely lost my place in the chat again. Apparently 9 is fine should be my mantra. Mike says there's no way I could free hit with these pound fixtures. Yeah, I get it. Some of us have done the planning so that we can, though, but others will just need to this week. Dr. David going with a differential Fulham triple up, Robinson, Willian, Muniz. Yeah, could work. I know that I keep banging on about free hits going to be really popular this week, but there'll be a certain amount of managers that have already blown it earlier in the season without realising. Still going to be a differential free hitting. So you don't feel like you have to go too crazy with like your actual picks in there. Yeah, Van der Ven's not not quite there yet. Paul wildcarded last week, as I'd suggested. Green Arrow, nearly in the top 10k. It's phenomenal. Well done. Adrian says, if Richarlison is fit, does that edge Tony is a better captain pick than Son? No. It was always Son, Watkins, Tony in that order, and I think, yeah. What is Ben Dinnery chatting about here? Let me have a look at this. I just spotted something. So FPL Flyers said, if Watkins is out for 29, 80% of non-free hitters need to switch strategy. And Ben Dinnery has put, he certainly doesn't start in my opinion. I think that refers to Richarlison. I think Ben's responded to the wrong thing then. I don't think that's about Watkins. Yeah, because that mentions Van de Ven. That was confusing. We can absolutely let Ben off there because the amount of presses he's covering today is ridiculous, and he does a sterling job every week. I think we've sussed that out, though. So we've heard from Fulham and we've heard from Spurs. West Ham we haven't heard from. We was meant to hear from them at 10. I haven't. Not seen anything from Luton yet either, or Aston Villa. So I am going to do a little bit of looking on club websites, because that can sometimes be a source. I'm tempted to put the telly on next to me as well. Maybe just on low to see. Thing is, Sky Sports will be covering. I'm not going to even have the right channel on, am I? We'll be covering all the other presses, like the FA Cup ones. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and probably doing a terrible job. I just wanted to make sure that the TV wasn't going to come on really loud next to me. I've got two lots of buttons as well. Like, what's all that about? I've got so much rubbish on my desk because I've been away all week at a conference. So I'm a bit all over the place at the minute. But I think with the way the schedule's landed, it's just, that's how it's worked out. Let's check the Villa website. They're obviously covering the draw. Right, where is Sky Sports News? Can't find it. There it is. No, that's Arena. That's news. Oh, it says Rob Edwards news conference coming up on Sky Sports News. I mean, I could put my headphones in, but I feel like the headphone port is like round the other side of my TV. And I don't know how long my cable is. So we'll just manage. I don't think my mic's picking up on that in the background. But I think, obviously, Sky will have been covering the what you might call it, the draw as well. So the presses have probably been bumped down the priority list. Let's have a check of West Ham. Again, mainly just covering that. Interesting. Harry says, wait, is there a Villa presser? I don't know. I got told from PLP that there was a Villa presser at 1:30. Colm says 2:30, and that's what Fantasy Football Scout were reporting. I don't know where Fantasy Football Scout got that information, but then I did see a journo saying that there maybe wasn't a presser, so we don't know at this moment in time. We're going to keep an eye on it. I'm sorry that I haven't got more firm news. I could go ask a couple of people, but I also don't like to hassle people. So we're a bit blind at the moment. Right, let's have a look then at some more questions in the meantime. I could be answering questions for the next half an hour waiting for a press conference that doesn't come. So there's plenty of time to cover your questions. So make sure you're getting them in. And while you're there, hit the like button. Let's get up to 200 likes. CFC says Porro or you doggy. I mean, Porro is the one for me that's got the higher ceiling. But you also have to think to yourself, is it worth the extra outlay? He's 0.9 more expensive than you doggy. He's 0.7 more expensive than Romero. And if you want Salah back, he's going to block that. But he is the best Spurs asset by a mile. Something that I hadn't noticed until the other day, actually. Obviously, we think of Porro for his creativity. Among defenders, he's top for shots this season. 37 shots on goal this season. His finishing is terrible because he's only had 6 shots on target. And you look at his stats for shots in the box even, and he's off the top. Big chances, he doesn't even make the top 10. So it's more like pop shots that we're getting from him. XG is down. But, he will score at some point. Kate says, I'm a Burnley fan. The Burnley defence the best option on a free hit. Yeah, I know it's in the AI team on Fantasy Football Hub. I wouldn't go Burnley defence. I think Reguilon, Doughty, Porro on free hit is good because they've all got that attacking threat. Mike says, is Salah in your thoughts for future weeks? Absolutely. I mean, I've no idea how I'm going to get him in. I had him at the start of the season. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, even if I was to sell Son to get Salah, I'm still 2.2 million off. I guess I could take Tony out. I don't know who I'm buying now at 5.9. I guess I could downgrade Tony and downgrade a defender for someone really cheap, and I'm a bit more flexible. That would be my route. But I'm also doing Richarlison to... No, I'm not. What am I doing? Foden to Bowen doesn't cost me anything. So that'll be the route. Thanks, Simon. Lelex, do we have Watkins news? It's the same quote at the moment. But we're hoping to hear from Unai Emery soon. Can't even find the right tab now. Yeah. Give me 1 minute. There we go, I'm back. Sorry, just moved the mic and everything. Everything went to pot. Yeah, we're still hoping to hear from Unai Emery today. This or Morris? Morris is the talisman and he's on pen, so I think I find him more attractive. For Young Yi, 7 players with a -4, should I free hit? If Watkins is in that, then yeah, I'd say so. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on Sky Sports news show. Any news from Chong? Yeah, we're still waiting to hear from Luton, aren't we? I should imagine it's at any point now. You would think. Let me just check that I've not missed anything while I've been chatting. Don't think I have. Should we check the Luton website? Still nothing. Does still say on Sky, Rob Edwards news conference coming up. It looks like David Moyes is in as well. Can I get volume? Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was just the draw. Yeah, just ignore me. I'm trying. If there's any news out there, we'll have it covered. Let's put it that way. I'll do my best. We're nearly at 200 likes, by the way. It's one of them days today. I got home yesterday. I think it was about 2 o'clock yesterday, actually, from London, having been at the Women in Football conference all week, which was really incredible. I was really lucky as well that I could contribute. I was asked to join a panel to talk about football, business, media and tech. Obviously, my experiences as a YouTuber. And then in about 2 hours, I live in Grimsby, which is, if you don't know, is like 4 hours from London. In about 2 hours, I'm going to be getting in the car again to go back down to London for Sky Sports tomorrow. And I'm cheating on my TV husband. I'm normally on with Gianni. But it's Ross this week, FPL Raptor. I believe his first time. So be a different one. Someone else to join on the sofa. So it's been a busy week. Lots of travelling. Bonkers LSC on free hit has got Leno, Doughty, Porro, Elanga, Antonian. Nice. Regular news back in training should be fine. Watkins news we're still waiting on. Nothing concrete as yet. George is wondering, without free hit, whether he should use a transfer on a Forest defender or roll. Neil has asked, what are your thoughts on Forest players on free hit? Luton defence was awful. Second half of Bournemouth, think Elanga or Wood. Let's have a look at the predictions. So Elanga top prediction, followed by Wood, then Hudson-Odoi and Gibbs-White. Yeah, I don't know. Could take a punt on one of them, I guess. Harry says, was there a Brentford presser? Yeah, it was yesterday, the Brentford presser. Yeah, yesterday we had Burnley, Forest and Brentford. So this is the 14th. This was yesterday. Yeah, Norgard is out. Boosted by the return of Mbermo and Reguilon. he should be fit and available on Reguilon. And Bomo is touch and go. Reguilon's been training since about Tuesday, I think. Mike said Ross will be ricking it. I'm sure he won't. Ross is a chilled guy. I'm sure he'll take it in his stride. Yeah, so Brentford's presser was yesterday. I'm slightly worried that I forget to make my transfers yet. I won't. I can't do that. I've now got my mother-in-law texting me, asking me what I think to a free hit team. I'm refusing to give my husband any help because he's beating me. It's pretty embarrassing, this. He's 50 points ahead of me now. And he's free hitting this week, so he's going to get even further ahead. He's been like in the same position for weeks and weeks and weeks. Oh dear. He benched Palmer last week though, which was a mistake. He's left so many points on his bench this season. He benched Watkins in game week 7. He said 9 weeks where he's had double points on his bench. I don't know how many weeks I have. Oh, to be fair, some of them look pretty awful. I can't talk, can I? I'll shut up. That's probably why he's beating me. He doesn't even like football, so it's a bit embarrassing. Just chucking it down here now. Right. Still looking for any news from any of these pressers that we were told were happening today. Let's give Luton a refresh. Probably just need to keep... I always feel, though, I mean, I don't know how it works, but it's like having cookies. Nothing from Villa. Luton Villa. Who was the other team? I've forgotten. West Ham it was, wasn't it? Beardy says, will Son play left wing now Richarlison's back? I think Sonny's been doing well. So I would say Son will keep his place up front. Especially if Richarlison he's back in. Right, it does say on Sky Sports News, Unai Emery news conference today at 2:30. Let me put that in the chat. 2:30 p.m. GMT Villa presser. So I'm going to take that as gospel. So it's worth hanging on for. Surely it wouldn't be as a graphic on Sky if it wasn't happening. So 2:30 for the Villa presser. So that's in 22 minutes. So if you're still here, stick with me. There's still 450 of you here, which is great to see. Yeah, Ten Hag is on now, but it's FA Cup. And hopefully, in the meantime, we might hear things from Villa or, Luton or West Ham. It would be good to hear from both of them, really. In the meantime, though, I'm going to keep on with your questions, so keep dropping them in. Eddie says, Paqueta or Kudos. I think I'm just getting messages from my kids' school now as well. I am still here. I'm just going to cut the camera for a minute. I had this great idea, which has worked well for the last year, which is to use my iPhone camera as my webcam. But it just means that if anything comes up on my phone, then I can't see it, which doesn't really matter for the large proportion of the time. And I can bet that this message that I got from my kids' school is going to be absolutely irrelevant. But oh, it's nice actually. My now the TV's going off. My daughter's been invited for an award at Celebration Assembly on Tuesday. Invited to attend to see your child accept their award, 8:55 to 9:15. One adult per child may attend. Cool. That'll be me then. Sorry, I've just got distracted there with that, haven't I? I'm always a bit anal when I get messages from school. Right, that should be working again now. That it's like, on a Friday, I don't even know if this is particularly interesting, but on a Friday, the kids are in after school club and occasionally they decide that they're short-staffed and that you can't go, that you got to go pick them up early. And I'm always worried that I end up not doing what I should be doing and end up not in the right place. Neil says, congratulations, Holly Jr. We've had a good week, to be fair. She's on a roll. Won a wildlife photography competition. She's already got an award in class, got a reading certificate. What else has she done? Been on her first school trip this week. Red Nose Day today. So yeah, it's all been going on. I do feel a bit bad that I've not been at home all week, but you can't do it all. Is this even updating? Still not got anything from Luton or West Ham. I don't know what's going on today. Mike says now just mum needs a green arrow. Yeah, that is very much needed. And I can't even remember if I ended up on a green or a red. I did end up on a green last week. I swear it was green. Oh no, it was red. Why did I think it was green? I don't know what happened. I didn't have a Solanke and I didn't get absolutely punished for it. But yeah, admittedly, it could have been better. It should have been better. So, there you go. I'm just keeping an eye on the television of what's going on as well. But yeah, it's not particularly that important at the minute. I think Sky will have been covering the draw because it's still checking in with Klopp and Pep and Ten Hag. The tweet deck looked like it had died there for a moment. I think it is still updating. Maybe not as quick as you'd hope, though. Yeah, I think the Villa presser got delayed because of the draw. Wilkie, have I missed any news on Adebayo? No, not yet. Don't know what's happened to the Luton presser. It should be coming any time. Light Rays is reviewed the draw for the English teams in Europe. Arsenal and City both through to the Champions League quarters. This is interesting. I know I was moaning that I couldn't see Richarlison in the Spurs video, but no Maddison in there either, apparently. Michael, thoughts on Alanga as a differential? Yeah, fine. Best captain this week, gotta be Son. Tony, prefer wildcard 30 or 31? I think 31, but obviously all the games that are off this weekend could be rescheduled soon. So I think I would try and remain a little bit flexible I don't think you have to absolutely lock in. I think it does make sense for 31, but Tom says, how about Collins as a differential? I think Reguilon's the one. Chantal wondering about Bailey in for Palmer, Foden or Saka. I think maybe Foden. Marco says if City blank in 34, so does Spurs. 34 is a weird one because the weekend of 34 is when it's the FA Cup semi-finals. However, the midweek after game week 34 is a free midweek. So in theory, the games that aren't on in 34 at the weekend because of the FA Cup semis could move to the midweek. But we could see like these fixtures from game week 29 slotting there as well. So there's I don't know exactly what will happen. Spurs, Postecoglou says Radu will start tomorrow. He's been patient, but he's worked hard. Interesting. £4.2 million. He could be a nice differential on free hit if you trust that what he said is right. If anyone fancies a little punt, 4.2 million. That was what was said, wasn't it? So he played 40 minutes against Villa. So that's good to know. Hopefully the stream's all running quite nicely because my computer seems like it's on a absolute go slow at the moment. I think it still is. I would avoid Paqueta. Oh, Luton update. Rob Edwards does not expect any of his injured players to be back on Saturday, with Lokonga the closest to return. Chong is fit, but Adebayo may not feature again this season due to a hamstring injury. Oh, I might have something from David Moyes. This is David Moyes at the moment. I'm just going to turn the volume down because I know you can probably hear it quietly. I'm just going to try and wait for the important bits. Hopefully we get an update on Paqueta. Beardy said, wow, what are we wowing to? So they've just clipped up the West Ham presser for the important bits on the reaction to the Conference League draw. The Europa League draw. Who's this in now? Oh, we're at Celtic. That's not relevant then either. But yeah, we have had an update from Luton now that Chong... Was it Chong? Chong's okay. Adebayo out long term. So we're still waiting for West Ham and Villa, but Villa should be coming in 10 minutes, all being well. And keep checking all the news sections. But yeah, nothing. Let's get the tweet deck open again. Colin says, I'm not using my free hit this game week as I'm stuck between Gibbs White and Iwobi. One is Palace at home in 30, the other is Sheffield United away. I think I quite like Iwobi, you know. Watkins update will be coming in about 10 minutes, but the comments yesterday were positive. Tom says, clean sheets don't look likely this week. Who will be busy? Trafford, a good idea. I like Kaminsky. He's made the most saves of any player any goalkeeper this season. If we look at predicted points, that's filtered by Forest, so that's not helpful. It's, Kaminsky's top. Kaminsky, Trafford, Martinez in that order. Cons are all cash to cover the Villa defence. Who starts? Does Cash start? He probably does, doesn't he? I think Cons is safe, though. FPL Jelly says, if Watkins is out, should free hitters get Areola to cover non-free hitters? I think free hit is so differential that you need to just attack it. I don't think you need to worry about covering certain things. Seems a bit counterproductive to me. I mean, that could just be me. But I think that would, that's it. Interestingly, if Jimenez is back for Fulham, that means that Muniz may not be as nailed for minutes as maybe he has been at other points. Ashley, is it worth captaining Watkins, vice-captain Tony in case Watkins doesn't play? I would not captain Watkins now. Just go Son. Ken, I can field 8 with a -8 or free hit. If that -8 includes Watkins, then I would free hit. It's absolutely chucking it down now. Can you hear that? I think that is getting picked up on the mic a little bit. Regulon is fit. Lalex, there's Amari Bell news. Same as last week, according to Luton. Was he out last week? I think he was, wasn't he? So I'm going to guess the same still applies. Yeah. I was hoping for a bit more of a write-up on the website. Yeah. The headline, same squad expected to face Forest. Yeah, so Adebayo will still be unavailable after the international break. And Conga the closest to making a return. Chong's fine. Oh, Ross Barkley, broken nose against Palace. Didn't see that. In the draw at Crystal Palace. Ross Barkley's nose is healing after the midfield broke it in the draw. So, I must have missed that. Did he have the mask on? So that's that. Still keeping an eye on Sky. Not that there is anything. Villa presser is apparently at 2:30, which is in 6 minutes. So that's good. And now they're covering a Celtic presser on Sky Sports, which isn't particularly useful. Phil Wright, Maddison worth a -4. Palmer or Saka would have to go. Maybe just about for Palmer. Oh, I don't know. It's a tricky one. Simon, not expecting Mbeumo to feature significantly until next game week. Yeah, got to agree. Eddie says, I have Bowen. Should I get Paqueta or Kudus? I think on current injury news, probably Kudus. Tony or Maddison in or both for a -4, wildcarding in 30. It's really hard to take a hit if you're wildcarding next week. For 1 week, I'd probably just say Tony. There's a lot of impatience around these presses, which I absolutely understand. Feels like such a big week. Beardy says, are we all ignoring Wissa? He's been really good recently. Yeah, probably. Reguilon is fit. You Doggy or Porro on free hit, I'd go Porro. Maddison v Kudos, I go Maddison. Stir says on free hit, 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. 3-5-2, I think. Yeah. I don't feel like there's as much choice in those forward spots. Where are these the rest of these presses though? I guess we're hoping that Emery turns up on time first. Spare a thought for Balaji, who's put in a chat, why are most of the players not playing? It's the FA Cup quarterfinals, which has seen 6 fixtures postponed, I believe. So you've got your free hit. This is the time to play it. Hat-trick's got Mooney's too. Yeah, it's a bit of a concern, that one. Killerat says, is Watkins injured? He went off in the Europa Conference League last night with a knee injury, which then got translated to a cut on his knee. And Unai Emery said yesterday, we'll wait and see how he is tomorrow and Saturday. Obviously, that game on Sunday. But was hopeful he'd be available. But given that we're a few hours on from that now, hopefully in his press conference, which is coming up in 3 minutes, we get a bit more info. Marcus says, Maddison not seen in the Spurs training video. Should we be worried? Potentially. I wonder what's going on general Twitter with that. If anyone else has commented on the general video. Seems to be a bit of concern. Just trying to delve into the detail. Alistair Gold said yesterday it's understood that there's a couple of little knocks and issues from the Villa game. Whatever that means. There's a bit of speculation as to who that could be. That could just be enough to avoid Maddison on free hit. I don't know where you go there, because you kind of want triple Spurs. You could go Kulu. You could go Song, Kulu, Porro. I don't know, though. It's a bit of a stab in the dark, isn't it? Right, so apparently we should have a Villa press conference at some point around now. Sometimes the website is quicker, not always. Sky Sports has said that it's now. Jack says he's Barkley out now. It was from a few weeks ago, I think. The Palace game. Yeah, so that was last week, wasn't it? So yeah, he played against Luton, didn't he? So yeah, it's not a non-issue. This or that says, is Jimenez back? I have Muniz. Yeah, but there's no guarantees that he'll be in from the start. I don't think he'll start. I don't think he'll be in Ben's predicted lineup. Yeah, he's not predicted him to start, so I think we're all good there. Come on then, Villa. Where is this news? So I was just going to put it in a different tab so that I can keep checking on it without having to flick back and forth, because that'd probably be quite annoying as a viewer. Dennis says, remember Villa will be missing McGinn too for 3 games suspended, so West Ham should have a field day. Yeah. I have to see on that one. He's been an ever-present this season, hasn't he? I mean, they managed all right in Europe last night, though. Oh, well, I guess McGinn was playing that game. Sorry, my brain's not working, is it? Come on, Hull. Wake up. I think it's the longer stream. I'm often done at around 2, aren't I? I guess some weeks I start early. Straw says, how do we find out when the double game weeks are? Have a look at Ben Krellin on Twitter. Phil Wright says, Maddison in for a -4. For Saka or Palmer. I don't know, I'm not sure about that one now. Right, there's an article up on the Villa website. I don't think that's new information. That's not new. I don't think there was anything in there on team news. These looks like the comments from yesterday. Playing today, it's hard to play on Sunday. But we have to recover and focus on Saturday to remember to play on Sunday, being fit. I don't think that's new news. Maybe we're not getting a Villa presser. That'd be really annoying if we don't. Let's round up what we've got, though. Give this a refresh. So everyone fit for Fulham, which suggests that Jimenez is back. Richarlison, the Athletic are expecting him to be on the bench. They Van de Ven will miss out, and Dragson will start? That's the only big news we've had from this. And Burmo close to return for Brentford. Reguilon is back. No injury issues at Burnley. Norgard out for Brentford. Paqueta picked up a bit of an issue last night. And then on Watkins. Oh, I've got a hair in my mouth. Everything's going wrong today. Yeah, Watkins, it cut to his leg. Hopefully for Sunday, he is going to be available. Now, I got told this morning that the Villa presser was at 1:30. We then saw rumours online that the presser would be 2:30, and that's what Sky Sports News are reporting. Sometimes we get information on the Villa website around about the same time. I still don't know whether to believe it's the presser is or isn't happening. Villa have just posted a news article on their website. Suggests to me that there won't be a presser. Villa TV press conference. I don't know if this will work. Is this today? I think this is from last night. Maybe this was just embargoed from last night. Yeah, Harry said that's Europa League background. It does say the 14th of March there, and then it says 15th of March there. So I think it was recorded last night and that was embargoed. So I think that is going to be it, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. We just had to go on the information that was available to us. We haven't got an update there on Watkins. So it's only what was said last night. That game doesn't kick off until 3 o'clock on 2 o'clock on Sunday. So we could get further updates. You never know. But yeah, unlikely. Sorry to hang you on the press conference that hasn't happened, but I had to just go with the information available to me. I wouldn't have carried on streaming for an additional half an hour after all of the presses if I didn't think it was coming. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But thank you so much to everyone that has joined me today. I'm disappointed I couldn't get more news for you on Watkins, but keep your eyes peeled on socials because there could be other stuff that comes through. You never know. But that's all we've got for today. No deadline stream tomorrow because I'm on Sky Sports News. If you are in the UK, give that a watch. 10:30 to 11 on Sky Sports News. It's Ross FPL Raptors first Sky show as well. It's me and him on the sofa with I'm pretty sure it's Hayley McQueen, who I spent a bit of time with this week, who's lovely. So yeah, make sure you check that out. And then it's the international break, so you probably won't hear from me until almost 2 weeks, and there's no press conference stream in 2 weeks' time on Friday the 29th of March because my little girl, the one that was interrupting us the other week when she was off nursery poorly, it's her 3rd birthday. So, yeah, family comes first. So, yeah, no press conference stream in 2 weeks. But I hope you have a good game week, especially those on free hit, and enjoy the international break. And I'll be back soon. Thanks so much for the support, guys. It really does mean a lot. And we've got the final stretch of the season to go. Thank you for watching.